Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate two more hamstring stretches. The first one is done with the leg straight, so we call it the standing straight leg hamstring stretch. So position the front foot up near the front of the reformer and try and make sure that your legs are parallel, so just be aware that this leg is not too wide, so both legs parallel. Lift the chest and then move the carriage out slowly until you start to feel a stretch somewhere here. It could be in the glutes, adductor magnus, all of the hamstrings, some of the calves across the back of the knee, and some people like me feel the stretch here across the front in the tibialis anterior. So hold this position. You can put your hands on the sides if you need to, whatever tends to give you the most support. As usual, hold for 5 breaths, and then the contraction is to push the foot down into the floor, so this foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, re-stretch by sliding the carriage out further and pushing that back leg back a little more. That will increase the stretch further in this leg. And again, we hold for the usual 60 to 90 seconds. A couple of other variations of this stretch. One, in this position you could shift your hips sideways away from the carriage, and that will move the stretch more laterally. The other variation is to start with this knee bent, so we call this the bent-legged hamstring stretch. The difference is that when you slacken the muscles over one joint, so the hamstrings cross the hip joint at the back and the knee joint, if you slacken them off here, you'll find that you can usually go into the stretch a little bit further before you feel any stretch sensation. So what you do is bend this knee, keep your chest down in contact with the leg, and then slowly try and open out this angle. Let's say I'm moving to here and now I'm getting a stretch. Again, we hold for the usual period of time and contract, push the heel down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going a bit quickly, but you know by now that should be for 5 seconds. Take a breath in, and then try and re-stretch by opening out this angle, but keep your chest on the leg. So don't be tempted to go like this. The bent-legged version requires that you keep your chest in contact with the leg, and you try and open out this angle this way. Let's say you get the leg straight, and you want to make the stretch a little more intense. You can do that by lifting the back knee up without actually lifting your hips. So I'll show you what I mean. I'll support myself with my arms. If you can see my back leg, if I tighten my quadriceps, I'm going to just lift the kneecap up and try and straighten that leg. And what happens then is that through tension generated in my quadriceps and hip flexors, my pelvis rotates this way and the stretch becomes stronger both here and in the hip flexors at the front of this leg.